Hello, and today we will be interviewing some of the varsity basketball players here at Mount Vernon High School.
So, Joseph, you are on the Mount Vernon boys basketball team, is that correct?
That is correct. Played varsity for 4 years, It's chill or whatever.
Nice. So, how has your season been going so far this year?
It's been going pretty well. We came back from break, had a rough game against Cedar Rapids, Washington, but they're a 4A team with just a bunch of athletes, And otherwise, we're 8-1, going pretty well.
Why was that game so tough? Like, what was so tough about the game?
We just started off slow. We didn't have a lot of want to be there, and we just didn't have the heart in us. And I mean, they played a good game, shot the ball pretty well. They had a ton of rebounds, just super athletic guys.
Would you say that's kind of been like a weakness of the entire year, is just not showing up, not having any heart, stuff like that?
Kinda. I guess our biggest thing would be that we all have to be on the same page. There's some games where guys show up and other guys don't, and so when we're consistent, we're really good. But we just gotta get better at being consistent in all of our games.
So there were some of your weaknesses, but what would you say some of your strengths are? I heard you mention you were 8-1. What were some of your strengths to make you have 8 wins already this season?
So our biggest thing is probably our defense. We have a really good defensive presence, and we work hard. We're super just talkative, and we really pressure the ball super well, and that gets us transition buckets and easy layups on the other side of the court.
So yeah, you said that. So you have 8 wins. So obviously you guys have to have a pretty good training and practice scheme going on.
Oh yeah.
What does that look like?
Oh yeah, Well, we lift before some practices. That obviously makes it pretty hard to shoot, especially for guys like Maddox Thede who just can't shoot a basketball. But otherwise, it's pretty good. Practices are good. We all have a fun time, and we work hard. So that's the big gist of it.
Yeah. So, how does your role impact the team, or what is your role on the team?
My role is kind of big offensive presence. Catch the ball inside, post guy. So I catch the ball inside. Usually get double or teamed or triple teamed, and then just look for shooters. If a shot's there, I'll take it. But really look to pass the ball because we have a lot of guys that'll collapse down low.
Nice. So you've mentioned everyone has fun at practice. What are some of your team bonding or traditions that you guys do to help build chemistry?
Yeah, so we usually go on 2 or 3 trips every year to places like Chicago or even just to Des Moines, and we'll stay overnight and spend a night just hanging out with guys. We'll maybe go out to eat somewhere and hang out, or to a bowling alley, something like that, and that's just good team bonding. It's really good to interact with a bunch of different guys, especially because we have a kind of a younger team this year, and we might not know each other as well, so it's good to get to know those guys.
And then, here's what's been your favorite moment so far this year, or just in your basketball career in general?
My favorite moment was during a practice. We were playing 5-on-5, and Cyrus Johnson got a rebound and shot the ball on the wrong hoop and made it.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe.
Yep.
So, are you on the boys basketball team for Mount Vernon High School?
Yes, I am.
What would you say the biggest strengths are for your team?
I would say we have a good defense and defensive intensity, which helps us win many games and helps us get layups, which help us.
What would you say some of the weaknesses are?
I would say our offense with getting ball movement, reversals, and transition getting off the floor.
Is there anything you specifically struggle with on the team?
I would say I struggle with getting sped up by the defense, and I need to slow down and know when to take cuts and know when to drive and know when to shoot.
What is your role on the team?
My role on the team is kind of be that 7th, 8th guy, sometimes the 6th guy coming off the bench and filling minutes for starters that are tired or need a break in the game, or sometimes the guy goes in to score a couple times.
Are there any favorite moments that you have on this team?
One of my favorite moments was our trip to Chicago, which is a great team bonding moment. And we drove up to Chicago for a couple days, a weekend, and spent time with our team and play a game against Northridge Prep, which was pretty fun.
I heard you said that some of your challenges your defense was really good. Is there any challenges with that defense that some days it's not good, some days it's really good?
I would say in practice sometimes people get on each other for missing steals or rebounds or stuff, but we can put that behind us. It'll be fine.
How do you guys overcome that in practice?
I would say like part of it helps us like take a minute and like kind of pause and talk it out and work out the problems that we have.
Are there any goals that you like for this team?
One of our goals was to make state, I think, this year, and if we can make state, I would love to win.
Okay, how do you think the basketball season has gone for you personally and the team so far?
Well, starting off with as a team, I feel like we've exceeded our expectations so far. I mean, we came into the season thinking we weren't going to be like that good of a team. We were going to be like mediocre. And then we started off the season 7-0, which was pretty cool. And for me personally, I think it's been going all right. Been shooting the ball pretty decently, and then just been playing my role pretty good.
I know you guys recently just suffered your first loss to Washington. Do you have any ideas as why you lost that, or something went wrong there?
I would just say defensively, we just weren't dialed in. I mean, over break, we didn't have the best practices, and then that just showed when we played Wash over break.
So do you think that would be an area you can improve on, or what is an area the team could improve on heading into our next game against a pretty strong opponent?
I would say where we need to improve on most, I would say it's maybe talking on defense. That kind of killed us a lot against Washington because we set screens and sometimes people would trap on the screen, sometimes people wouldn't. So if we just communicate more in defense, I think we'll be good.
Okay, and then what would you say is one of the strengths of the team? Well, talking on defense is an issue. Overall, defense has been pretty good. So how do you describe that as a strength?
Well, I would just say we rebound pretty well out defensively. I mean, and I think it was 7 out of our 9 games so far. We got 70% of the defensive boards, which is pretty good.
Okay, and then over the offseason, you thought we were going to be mediocre, but we've made a big step. What's one person that you think has really stepped up and shown improvement and has really benefited the team a lot this year?
I would say Josef Rushford coming off the bench has been really good for us. Just comes in there, shoots a lot of threes, and he makes them a lot.
Okay, and then how do you feel about the team so far? Do you think the team is reaching its ceiling, or is there still a lot we can improve upon going into playoffs?
After that game against Washington, I would say there's still a lot that we can work on, especially because Washington's they're a bigger school, but they're not the best for a team, and that's a game we should have. So there's a lot to work on, a lot offensively too.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No.
All right, thank you for your time.